Hi, do you have your video working?
Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Good, sir.
Perfect. So, super. So, we'll be going through an introduction about the Inspire Computing book, and and we'll cover up the points which is already there in the book, and I'll give you a quick introduction on what we are getting ourselves into. So, first of all, before we jump into that, um, are you following this book or something else?
Yes, I'm following this book.
Same book, right? Nice, perfect. Hi, hi, Kemit. How are you?
Hi, sir. I'm fine. Thank you, sir.
Good, perfect. So we just started. So, Kemit, are you following this book as well?
Yes, sir. I'm following that book.
Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, so when did you guys started this? Are you up to like halfway through or?
Sir, like we are just completing like one or two lessons, sir. Like one or two units.
Yeah,
But sir, from lessons, sir, like not much, sir.
got
In
it.
needed.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks. Nice. Okay. So we have time. We can cover this up, obviously. And let's go as slow and easy as possible. And also let me know if you have any doubts or anything, I can just explain it. So for today's class, we are going to talk about the syllabus and the modules, and I will try to explain it as brief as possible so that you can get an idea what you guys got yourself into. Okay. So first of all, you need to know where you are at right now. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් වැඩක් පටන් ගන්නකොට අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ අර මේ මොන හරි වැඩක් කරනකොට වලකට බහිනවා කියලා. මොන හරි දෙයක් කරන්න යනවා නම් ඒකට when you start to do that, you need to know what type of a workout, what type of a work you have to do, and what's you're willing to join in, right? Perfect. Okay, so let's jump in. So it will be a today's session. It's not going to be a very long session. It's going to be an introduction, which we will be covering up the basic overview about the contents and what we are going to learn in this year. Okay, so sounds good. Okay, so this particular book has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. Okay, so it comprises in 6 units, and this starts with few theory modules. So since we are learning about how IT can be used in our day-to-day life and what type of softwares we can use, we start from learning how safe you can use softwares, or basically what we call it as safe practice. Okay, so in this case, in this module, we'll be talking about internet and the world wide web. Okay, so internet and the world wide web, so that's a simple topic, right? Simple topic kunata, it's being used on day-to-day basis, right? Okay, I'll ask you a quick question. um, where is internet? Where is the internet?
So basically, internet is in America because they invented Google and those things.
Good answer, but not exactly correct. Okay. Yes, internet was invented by the American army, and the internet was actually created for military communications. You know that. So when we were going through the world wars, the army needed to have some sort of way of communicating with each other. So for that, what they did was they invented a network, a simple network, and that network ultimately became the internet as we know right now. But so the internet is actually something which is uh, which is technically a set of wires. You know that it's just a set of wires, and there is no such thing as a specific location for the internet. Okay, so the internet is actually undersea. It's all a certain set of undersea cables which connects regions together. Okay, so let me show you guys something very quick. So if I search, okay, so we can search undersea cables, okay, and there is a website called Undersea Cable Map. Okay, so when you open this site, you can see a full map overview of the internet. So technically speaking, what you can see here is the internet. Okay, so these are all small undersea, not literally small, it's like huge, not small. I mean, when we look at the map, it's actually quite small. And these are all cables, and specifically these are known as fiber optic cables. So what transfers between is basically light, because you can't send power or electricity that long, right? Because see the length of these cables, it's like it's literally connecting one continent to another. Right? So it's very long. So the only way you can convert and send data is through light. So you use the technology called fiber optics. And for us in Sri Lanka, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 fiber optic cables. So for us, how we get the internet is through that. So 2 cables, I think, yeah, about 3 cables are getting connected in Colombo area, and 1 cable is getting connected to Mathara down here. Okay, so through that we get the internet. So
Excuse me, sir.
yes, shoot.
Sir, how is it connected to Sri Lanka? So it's coming from the ocean, sir. Like, isn't it going to the coast?
Yes, it is actually coming. So it's a huge cable. Okay, let me show you what is an undersea cable. So an undersea cable is something like this. See, this diver is working on a, see, this diver is working on a undersea cable. So undersea cables are like this. It's not that large, but it's very it's in a very hard metallic case, because obviously salt water corrodes everything, right? මලකට කනවනේ ඕනේ දෙයක් ලුණු වතුරට නම්. So it is inside a very highly protective case. Plus it's basically going underground. So for your question, how it's getting connected is actually through, so if you zoom this in, you can see how it's getting connected, but if you zoom it in, you can see that these are undersea cables which goes underground, and it gets connected to whom? From where do we get the internet?
From ISP?
ISP, exactly. So can you guess who controls the internet of Sri Lanka? Which ISP?
SLT Mobility?
SLT, exactly. So Sri Lanka Telecom has the prime ownership of all these cables. And recently, this cable was connected, Bharat Lanka, which actually comes from India. And this cable, as far as I know, I'm not fully updated with the news as of now, but this was connected a couple of years ago, belongs to Airtel. So Airtel, when they started their service in Sri Lanka, they literally built a cable. They were like, no, we are going to bring our own cable, and they connected the cable from India to Sri Lanka. So that's why our communication with India and they, we get all these Indian TV channels and all those stuff. So it's really fast, and the connectivity is extremely like close by. And you know what? These fiber optic connections, they are like extremely faster. So these since it's traveling through light, you can actually send a message from Sri Lanka to USA within couple of microseconds. Okay, so let's say if you have a relative living in a different country, Australia, Canada, US, you can take a call, no? Like you can literally take a video call and talk with them real time, no? That connection goes through those cables.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so that's the interesting part when it comes to this. So, oops, sorry. There's the slideshow.
So, sir, that means dialogue from dialogue, sir, if we take the cable is coming from Malaysia.
Not exactly. Dialogue, what they do is they actually rent it out. So
Yes.
you literally rent out the cable and you start from there. That's the fun
Okay.
part. So also there's another thing. Now let's say if you want to, let's say if you want to come up with something like a standalone this thing, like let's say a standalone telecommunication service. Okay, so let's say if you want to start a telecom service on your own, a new company, you can actually rent the cable. You can pay them a rent, and you can actually get access.
Yes, sir.
and
I
and
was confused at the moment. I thought, were they coming from Malaysia to Sri Lanka like that?
no, no. We do have cable. So one of the most congested and one of the most used cable is this one. We have a cable called CMeV. This one. This one. CMeV5. Okay. This particular
Yeah.
cable actually goes until directly this goes to Malaysia and Singapore.
All other countries from that
Yes,
side.
yeah. So this originates from Singapore, goes to Malaysia and Indonesia, and again another part in Indonesia, as well as it goes up to Myanmar and Bangladesh, and it comes to Sri Lanka, Matara. So as far as I know, this that cable is one of the most congested cables because, as you know, we most of our data. So now let's say if you open a video on YouTube or what Netflix, and if you play a game online, like something like Call of Duty or Valorant or some sort of a game, those servers are actually mostly located in Singapore. So since that's a direct cable connecting to Singapore, that has a heavy traffic. It basically tries to bring in the data as we use it. Okay, so
Okay.
perfect. Okay, so that's about the internet and the World Wide Web. Okay, we do have another two guys in it, Sanidhi and Situm, is it? Can you guys turn on your camera as well, if possible? Yes. Hi. Full black screen. Ah. Hello. Hi. Um. Situmi. Oh, how do you pronounce your name? Sorry.
Sir, I will sit on me.
Situm D. Okay, okay. Situm D, you are, just to clarify, you are following this book as well, right?
to the international schools, and
Okay.
I still don't have an ICT book because it is out of stock. But from what I know, it's not the Pearson curriculum.
Are is
I
it?
think
Okay. Which school are you going to now?
Leeds International School, Mother.
Okay, okay. So you're following the Pearson like Edexcel curriculum, right?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, okay. So that means if you are following Edexcel, this is the actual Edexcel official book. So sometimes they do have their own other versions of this as well, but the syllabus is almost similar. So let's see how it goes. Okay, and Sanindi, how are you? Good. I think there's a slight network delay. Anyway, okay. So just want to uh, clarify. You also can do the same book, right?
Yes.
Nice. All good. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. That's awesome to hear. Okay. Nice. Okay. So this is an introduction. So I'm taking you guys through what you're going to learn during this journey. So it's going to be really interesting, guys, because normally what I do is I show you real world stuff, and then it's kind of easy to grasp the whole idea when you see how it works, right? Okay, so under the safe practice, there's another. The second point is we have this point about a presentation-based project, and then we have creating a storyboard for a presentation. So for that, I'll show you guys few tips and tricks on how to use AI and how to get some new stuff generated. And then we have the main point, internet research. So internet research is actually a good topic because now, as you all know, we are in a good AI revolution, right? So in this AI revolution now, everybody is actually trying to fight to become the best search engine, right? So have you guys tried out ChatGPT?
Yes, I tried to.
Nice,
Yes.
nice, perfect. So when it comes to ChatGPT, who else is in the market when it comes to the AI things? ChatGPT වගේ තව කවුද ඉන්නේ?
Google Assistant.
Google Assistant or Gemini? It's Google Gemini, right? Yeah, yes, you're correct. So that's the Google Assistant, but that's known as Google Gemini. And who else? There's another big player in the market.
Siri.
Apple AI, yes, yes. So those three are the main competitors who basically fight with each other. But Apple is actually using ChatGPT under the hood. So if you guys have watched these sessions, what they say is Apple has their own tools, but then again they use uh, ChatGPT as well. So yes, so the internet research will include about how to search and how to analyze what you learn through internet, as well as there will be a building of a presentation and to create some sort of a small presentation on a research topic. Okay, and then we have the presentation. So we will have to do the presentation as well. Then we talk about security and the safety part. Okay, so there we will be analyzing about passwords. Okay, passwords, and we'll be talking about a lot of different ways of people can lose their access. Okay, so have you heard about this term called phishing? Phishing means not the fishing where you fish for fish, but yeah.
Sir, is it sort of a malware?
Yes, sort of a malware. So phishing is something like you trick a user. So you create something like a form or some sort of a like a way so that the user can see it and they will try to provide their personal information. So now we have, so you guys obviously might have heard this, like time to time you get these news articles, news saying පත්තරේ news වල තියෙන්නේ මේ Facebook ගිණුම hack කරලා එයාගේ විස්තර ටික අරගෙන somebody has hacked a Facebook account and got their personal details out, right? So those are like news for the regular people, but for us, for the IT geeks, for us that's known as phishing. So what happens is, now let's say I give you guys a form. No, what I do is I can create a login screen. Let's say Zoom. I can create a Zoom clone with the login screen, and someone can share those links with you. So what you do is you enter or you click on that link and you enter your personal details. Once you enter your personal details, we save it, or the attacker saves it and use it later on to hack into your account. So that is what is known as phishing.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, shoot.
Sir, when we are having a virus running in our computer, sir,
Yeah.
Is something happening like similar like that?
Okay, so to explain about viruses, primarily there are three different types of viruses. Okay, so one type of virus is will try to disrupt your work, try to slow you down, or try to give you errors, and so on and so forth. So that is one type. There's another type of virus where it will try to take your data and lock it out. Okay, so that also tries to infect, and it will try to spread in the system so that it can lock your data. And you have the third type of virus, we also call them as ransomware. So ransomware is something which will basically take your data and it will lock it. So it will lock your My Documents folder or your My Photos folder, and then they will ask you to pay them money to get the key. Okay, so all these three types of viruses, they do act as phishing type of software as well, because they get to track your keyboard entries because it is installed on the machine. So whatever you type, your passwords, your emails, everything can be saved, and it can be sent to a server and saved at that point, and done deal. You are infected. So that's why we always say not to, like, when you go to a website which you don't know or don't trust, not to click on these pop-ups and all. It's a big risk where you can get infected. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
we will go in depth in that point where we'll talk about these attacks, and I'll tell you guys some real world examples as well on that. And by the way, don't try to hack someone. That is illegal. But now when it comes to, since we are discussing the topic, there are two types of hackers. We call them white hat hackers and black hat hackers. So white hat hackers, what they do is they try to find issues and they report. Okay, so example is now Google. If you hack a Google server, Google will basically take you in will give you a job. They do that. So white hat hackers, what they do is they try to hack and damage and expose that it's open. Black hat hackers, it's the other way around. What they do is they try to harm people. So they try to blackmail, they try to get the details, try to damage governments and so on and so forth. So that is illegal. Okay, so that can end you up in jail. But white hat is something totally different. Keep that in mind. Okay, so then for this there will be an evaluating presentation, as well as there will be a kind of like an interactive presentation. So, Kemith, did you guys did the presentation at school?
Yeah, sir, but sometimes we didn't do any notes, but we did those practicals.
Oh, okay. What do you mean by the practical? So the presenting part?
No, sir, they told us to make some sort of presentation by topics, and we just made, and that's all, sir.
Ah, okay, okay, that's good. What about others? Sanidhi, did you guys go through the presentation?
Uh, we we are making a presentation. We did up to the fourth page, 10th page, and we are doing a presentation next week.
Ah, nice. Okay, okay. Yes. What about Chenu? You also did the presentation? No.
Yes, sir, we did the presentation.
Okay. How was it? Like, was it a group presentation or?
Yes, sir, but I had a problem with the app I was using.
Okay.
So everything was blurry and I can't
Ayyo.
access.
Okay.
So my partner had to do everything. I gave
So,
him marks.
so you did it again. You had to repeat it.
No, sir.
Ah. Ah, okay. Okay. No, that's good. And yeah, Situndi, you still didn't start this module, right?
I have no idea, sir, because still we didn't have ICT.
Didn't start it. Perfect, perfect. All good, all good. It will start in time. Okay, nice, perfect. Okay, so as we have done, as most of you have done the unit one, so I believe that's great. Okay, so then I hope you don't have any questions about this one, but I'm just going briefly explaining it so that starting from next week, we'll dive in and we'll start from the internet and the World Wide Web, and I will. Well, I think we need to when we start the unit one next week, I will take you guys into the history because you guys really need to learn how this was started and how internet was invented and how we got into this stage. So that is quite interesting. There are some interesting stuff to learn about the war and how this technology got evolved and why this technology based on transistors and things which got into play and how this whole story was made up. Okay, so it's going to be quite interesting. Then unit 2, responsible practice. I know this is going to be a bit of a theory unit. Okay, so yes, you guys will have to take some notes down because we'll be talking about mainly the the aspect of software as a service and what are the good things and bad things when it comes to working with content and software. So example is now when it comes to um, applications. Okay, I'll ask you guys a quick question. What is copyright? මොකක්ද copyright කියන්නේ?
Copyright is the legal use of an author or a content creator to like not like copy someone like I can understand to tell it. However, in simpler meaning, like the other like sort of some guy cannot copy the guy who contented the original meaning of that.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. No, your answer is correct. So, yes. So as long as it's belongs to you, belongs to someone else, and as long as that content or whatever it can be software, it can be content, or it can be a song, it can be an art, it can be a photograph, it can be any sort of a digital or physical thing, which if it is copyrighted in any way, then you cannot reuse it. But the reason we learn about this is when it comes to copyrights, there are different types of copyright, let's say, ways of copywriting something. So we do have something called freeware, we do have trialware, and so on and so forth. So we'll be learning about these different types of softwares. Okay, and then we jump into the legal and illegal use of content. So this is where it comes into the type of the copyright which we are going to use. Okay, and then working safely in the cloud. So we'll be talking about the cloud as well. So, but before we jump into the cloud, I'll take you guys through a little bit of explanation, sorry, explaining what is the cloud it is, okay? So you guys need to learn how the cloud works and where is the cloud. And okay, good. Another question. Now, since now you guys saw where's the internet is. Now, let me ask you a different question. Where's the cloud? What do you think? I mean, where is this thing located? Can you guess?
It's same as internet.
Yes, up to a certain extent, but cloud means you need to have computers, right? So we are connecting to another computer through the internet. So now these network cables are actually connecting regions together, right? So basically, cloud is regional computers. Like, just think, it's a bunch of computers located at those endpoints. Okay, so let me show you guys a quick example. Now, this is the undersea map. So you can see everything is connected in. So everything is being sent into Malaysia, and here it's connected to Singapore, right? So this is how it's working. So now you know Netflix, right? Netflix and YouTube and all these platforms, so they all run in the cloud. So now if you take Netflix, specifically the movie streaming service, they are using a cloud provider called Amazon. You guys all know Amazon, right? Amazon. So Amazon has a cloud service called Amazon Web Services. So if you take the list of AWS, if you take a list of data centers, give me 1 second, I'll show you guys the list. See, so these are the list of data centers. Okay, so a data center is in simple term, a data center is a building, okay, not a small building, a huge building, which will have about couple of 100,000 machines. Okay, so it's like huge machines, and you have these machines connected to the internet, and that is connected to these lines. Okay, now the fun part is, now check where these data centers are located at. See, this guy is located in Singapore, right? This guy is located in Singapore. All the submarine cables end up in Singapore as well. Now you guys can connect the dots, right? So cloud is technically, it's the internet with data centers placed strategically at those points, so that the global infrastructure, the undersea cables, those huge cables, connects these centers together. So when you type let's say youtube.com, you would be immediately from Sri Lanka, you would be connected to one of the data centers here. And the video will be retrieved and it will be immediately sent to our small country. So that's the cloud in a nutshell. Okay. So we'll see how these servers are built in. I will show you some videos, and we have a lot to talk about in this. So then, primarily, how to work safely in the cloud, because as we know, when you store something outside, then it's going to be a security risk, right? Let's say, in simple terms, let's say Kemit wants to store some data, and you save that data in Sanidhi's PC. Okay, now you know that Sanidhi can access your files, right? So then what you have to do is you will have to encrypt it. You will have to put a password and change the data and do many different types of things to make sure that Sanidhi won't be able to access it. Right? But still, end of the day, that data is in her PC. So if something goes wrong, still, if an hacker gets the fingers in, then you can get it done. So that's why we learn how to work safely in the cloud, so that how your data and details can be saved. Okay, then researching a newsletter. We'll be talking about how to research a newsletter and planning a group project. So this is, I think, it will be a bit of a challenging thing for us to do it in class, but let's try this out and see how, up to what extent we can get it done. Okay, and then the yeah, and the rest of the things, the document layouts, this is basically about creating the document. Okay, and guys, I do have a soft copy of this. So Setumdi, I will send this file on WhatsApp. So you can actually, so until you get the official book, you can use this soft copy. Okay, so it's the same soft copy which I'm referring to now. So we'll send it on the WhatsApp group. Okay, Unit 3, connectivity and internet. All wires and wireless networks, mobile access, wired connections, satellite communication, internet, and comparing web browsers, comparing search engines, and filtering and censorship, and also creating well presented documents. So in this part, it's going to be quite interesting, because wired and networks, this is one of my uh, professional areas as well. So I do really love to do like manual wiring and networking and all this stuff. So we'll show you guys some interesting things like when it comes to hardware as well. And we'll be talking about mobile internet access, why, how, and why, where, and how it works. Then we'll be talking about wired connections also, like what type of connections are there, local area and wide area networks, and so on and so forth. Okay, so and then we'll be again talking about internet bandwidth. So what type of internet bandwidth which is there, and the one we just discussed, like how this internet bandwidth is calculated according to the give me one second. Yeah, according to the different types of networks. Okay, so this bandwidth is specifically calculated in a way, because nowadays if you try to access something, let's say access a YouTube video, or when you watch this video on YouTube, it's really fast, right? It will play in like split seconds. You know, there was a time when I was little. Not I was little, actually. I was somewhere in your age. No, I was doing my O levels when I was about 15 or 16. We had the internet, and to download a single music video, it took about 45 minutes. Okay, so just to listen to a single 3.5 minute video, we had to wait about for half an hour to download the file. So back then it was actually normal. Now, now you guys open YouTube and click whatever the video you want, and you leisurely watch it, and it instantly plays. Right? But almost Give or take 20 years ago. Give or take 20 years ago, it was something totally different. So this bandwidth and how this communication happens, it is a massive, it, it's a massive improvement. And I will take you guys through in this so that we can understand how these calculations work and what are the technological advancements. Then internet protocol and binary. Now this is where we talk about, not in depth, up to a certain extent, about binary representation. Okay, so we talk about binary representation, binary computing, and we'll be doing few calculations. So guys, this is one of the modules which is in my point of view, you have to practice. Okay, so other modules you can study, you can basically memorize it and write it in the exam. But obviously these module you have to practice because you get questions. So the binary representation and the binary computing, this actually gets you a couple of questions where you get number conversions. So I think Kemit and others, you all might have done these calculations already, right?
Yeah, sir, we did it in grade 6, sir.
Grade 6 also, yes. So up to what extent did you did the numbers?
Sir, we did like converting binary into decimals and decimals into binary.
Got it. Okay. Okay. More or less. Perfect. Okay. Still here we are not touching into hex and other levels, but here it's the same thing, binary, denary to binary, but we'll be doing it in a few different ways where we talked about different factors where you have this thing called binary shifting and so on and so forth. I know, since you know the basics, it's going to be a walk in a park. just you need to practice it. Okay. I think Senadi also did this, right? And Chenu, you all have done the binary calculations before, right? Nice. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, then the reason you learn this is, before getting into the internet protocol, the IPs, is because this small thing, this IP address, it requires some binary calculations. When network කරන එක මේ lazy නෑ. Network is not not just plugging some cables and connecting it in. You need to do some calculations based on the number of devices you have, based on the number of locations. There's a certain calculation. So we'll be learning about that in IP addresses, and then as well as the data packets and the network speeds. So this module is all about calculations. It's going to be easy, and as I told you before, you have to practice. Okay, and then we jump into the interesting stuff, programming. So first of all, have you guys already done any programming as of yet?
Yeah, sir, I've done like the opening or the basics of Pythons, like those hello world
Python.
things.
Awesome. Perfect. How about
And sir, C plus for Arduino programming. So I
nice.
did
Okay.
half it.
Okay. What did you do? You're on mute.
So I did those LED lightings by putting those delay 1000,
Yes.
delay 100,
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
And I did sort of like those robotic hands, not sort of a robotic hand, but a servo motor was like spin for like 180 and 90 by
Okay.
telling and simple word by Google Mic or something. So I can't remember exactly the software.
Got it.
And we
Okay.
just inserted the just arm, and that's all I did. And
Nice.
after that, my computer broke up because of my wrong code.
Why? You got it fixed after that.
No, sir, then the class and the Arduino was also not there, and the computer was also broken up.
So do you have a Arduino board with you now?
No, sir, it's in the other house.
Okay. Let me know. I'll also give you some stuff. I do have a lot of Raspberry Pis with me. I build this hobby circuits and sensors and stuff. I have a server. I have a Raspberry Pi server at home, And Arduino, I don't usually use Arduino unless if it is for a circuitry thing, because Raspberry Pi comes with everything. No? You just put a memory
Yes.
chip, and you get a 32 GPIO pins with
Yes.
HDMI and all. And I recently bought the latest model which has 4K HDMI. So you can
Wow.
plug that into a big. So I do have a 56-inch screen, so I plug it into my TV.
So that's so easy.
Yes, it's easy, so you don't have to do anything, and it is running on the Raspbian operating system, so it has inbuilt capabilities to do stuff. Good,
Oh, that's
good, 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 good. Perfect. We can actually go on a good roller coaster ride with that. Okay, what about uh, Sanidhi? Have you done any Sanidhi? Have you done any programming?
We have done algorithms, variables, and so stuff.
Super, and that is based on Python.
Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. Then Chenu,
still our numbers.
okay. Have you done any like played around with Python?
No, I don't think so.
Awesome, perfect. No worries, no worries, no worries. Because now Python, since Python has become a very common language to be used on AI, now you don't have to install and build. Actually, now you don't need a good PC even. You can run Python on the browser, and then you can use emulators to try things out. And Setundi, have you done any programming?
No, sir.
Okay, did you? I think you might have done Scratch, right? Still no.
Sir, before I went to a government school, not an international school.
Ah, nice. Okay, okay, perfect. Okay, no problem. Okay. By the way, it's a good move that you switched. Huh? Awesome, nice. Okay, so perfect. So in this thing, we'll be going through an introduction to programming. We'll use Python. There will be sorting algorithms. So sorting is actually, we'll learn about why sorting is important and what it is exactly, because whatever said and done, entire world is basically working on these type of algorithms. So yes, we'll be mainly learning about these sorting types, and still we are taking baby steps, so don't worry. So we'll be getting to it, and then we'll be learning about operators and the BIDMAS, the order of calculations and relational operators, as well as we'll be building some sequence selections and iterations. Plus, we'll be doing some modeling and simulations, also error checking, and you guys are getting introduced into subprograms, okay, which is known as subroutines. So like functional programming and so on and so forth. I think Kemit might have done this already, creating subprograms, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's quite easy, right? It's just the syntax. You just need to get used to the
These
syntax.
days it's so easy because we can just go and type the needs of our program in ChatGPT and we would give the program.
Exactly, exactly. So, to be honest, the IT industry has become really easy. Huh? I mean, to code has become very easy. But keep in mind the concept and the idea. That is what you need to learn. Okay, what I always say is any donkey can code. now Nowadays any donkey can code, because as long as you know how to ask the correct question, you will get the code. But the problem is, you need to have a brain and the proper intellect to ask the correct question. So that is where, in my case, my main goal is to train you guys to get into that level, because when you can understand a problem and ask the correct question, then you're done. Okay, super. So then, yeah, we jump into the final point. So this is the programming part. So here we'll be talking about IDEs. Question, Kemit, what's the IDE you used for the coding?
Sir, I use as I can remember, sir.
VS
So
Code.
its name was starts from A, sir, but however I install it from Microsoft something.
VS
I did
Code.
it long time before, sir. Like I.
Is it Visual Studio Code?
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Visual Studio Code.
Okay,
That's
okay, perfect. Now, okay, now there was a, so since you have used ChatGPT, now there was a recent release in Visual Studio where now they give Copilot, their coding assistant, for free. So if you install Visual Studio now, you can get the ChatGPT power inside the code itself. So you just need to type a comment, and just like that, it will generate the code.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Install it and get back into the work. Just build some stuff. And where do you live? Do you live close by?
Sir, you mean like close by for Colombo?
Yeah.
No, sir, I'm at Kurunagala Miller, sir, but no,
Kurunagala, okay.
close by to the highway.
Okay. Because I have a good place in Kohuwala. It's just near to my home, called Tronics. So that's a good electronic shop where they have all these type of Arduino boards, and they have all these actuators, blades, fans, and bases, and so on and so forth. So if you really want, you can build your own drone even. Not a full size drone, a small size drone, because otherwise it's illegal to build the huge drones. Be careful.
Yes, you should take license for those things.
Yes, if it passes a certain weight range, then you have to get the license. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I recently went there. I normally buy my stuff from him, so all these chips and stuff from him. And when I recently went there, he had a complete FPV drone. You know what is a FPV drone, right?
Oh yeah, so those
Yes,
assets or something
exactly.
we can just
Yes, yeah. He had a full FPV drone set. It's all disassembled, and it cost you about 50 to 60,000 to build it, and then done. I wanted to
Yeah.
do.
What's the access, sir? I had to ask my parents because last time I sparked my computer and those things. So now they will say okay, and after that I'm going to like more learn about those programming and be so more safe and like made it, or else it would be a waste.
Yes, no, it won't be a waste. Don't worry. So obviously there will be some hiccups time to time. So, but
Yes.
the only thing is, like, if something happens, like, okay, so circuits, the maximum, the most probable thing can happen is you can burn it out. So you can burn a chip or something. But if it happens, my advice is try to learn how it happened and why it happened. So then you won't make that mistake again. That's the only way to learn. So I learned the hard way, because those days we didn't have these type of stuff. No, so we used to buy this used hardware, used motherboards, and used hard disks and all. And we used to remove the hard disk motors and build like small cars using these stuff.
Oh yeah, sir. When I was getting even purchased on our all toys, we were putting in that,
Yeah.
and I am going to search it and find the good motors and do those, but not making cars, but making all those fans only.
Yes.
Those things.
Yeah. Let me know if you want anything. I can send it from here. I'll put it on a courier and I'll drop it to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So yeah. So under Unit 6, that's the final part. So we talk about IDEs, and we talk about trace tables. So a trace table is in a nutshell, it's about how the program is getting executed. So here, yes, you are going to learn about a little bit more into in-depth programming on how when a program is executed, how it's going to get processed, and how if an error happens, you can track it, how you can track an error. And we'll be talking about data types and converting of data and string methods. There's a massive lot of string methods, escaping and string concatenations. And we'll be talking about a little bit, we don't go into very extensive level about efficient programming, in the sense how powerful or how exact or how accurate your programming is, and how you are going to basically when you build an application, how to build it in a robust and a fast manner. Okay, so I do own a software company. So in my software company, our primary objective is to build applications as fast as possible. So we do have built the uh, I think you guys might know Camera LK. So cameralk.com, that website, and their technology part. So we are behind that portal. So if you open that up, Camera LK is one of the fastest websites in Sri Lanka, where it will open within less than a second. Okay, so within 2 seconds the website will be loaded. Images, of course, no. Images, different story, that takes some time to load, but the website and the content gets loaded within a second. So that is about how efficient your programming and how efficient your system is. Okay, so we'll be talking about something like this, but not very in depth. And then we'll be talking about everyday problems, again theory, and some creating some graphics using coding. So that is interesting. So we'll be learning how to write some loops, couple of nested loops, and we'll learn how to create graphics. And I mean graphics in the sense not like extensive level graphics, but some graphics up to a certain extent using pixel tools. Okay, so if you guys are interested, I can take you guys in and how teach you how to build a pixel game even, but that's not going to be there in your exam. So okay, and then that would be it for the unit, all the units. And okay, another question. So let's start with Chenul. So what is your examination pattern at your school? Do you have a final exam for this, for grade 6, sorry, grade 7?
Sir, we have like formative assessment, monthly tests, and end of the term examinations and semesters. Right.
Okay, but you are not going to do you guys are not doing any Pearson certifications, right?
No, sir.
Okay, because is anybody uh, planning to do the I secondary exam? There's an exam called I secondary. No, okay. There is perfectly fine. There is perfectly fine. Because okay, so just to tell you guys the basic idea behind this. So, Edexcel in a exactly like if you do it in the correct way, not in Sri Lanka, I mean the international way, you have to face 4 exams. One is I primary, which is once you get into uh, grade 3 or 4, and then you have the I secondary, that is after grade 6. Okay, and then after this one you jump into IGCSE, which is also known as the ordinary levels, O levels, and after O levels you do A levels, I, A, S, and IAL. Okay, so that's how it's structured, but yes, perfectly fine, so that we can rest assured that we go through the same flow. Okay, thanks for that information. Okay, so I'll quickly take you guys through how to go through this book, and then we can call it a day. Okay, so this book, Situndi, don't worry, I will give you this book after the class. I will send it through WhatsApp. If you want, you can take. I think it will be easy for you to take a printout and use that itself. Okay, so perfect. So in this book, there's a specific way of you guys need to understand some few points. Huh? So the structure of this is this has a certain set of related topics on the top here. Okay, so when you open up a module or when you go to a unit page, you have the related topics on the top where this will say which other topics this is getting related to. Okay, ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙමයි. දැන් let's we open up a single. Okay, so when we go to a topic, if that topic has some sort of a relationship or connectivity to another topic, then that would be mentioned here. So when we are studying, if we do not know these topics which is already mentioned here, then we'll have to go back to them and study and come back. Okay, so always keep that in mind. And then we have the keywords. So this is the next most important thing, where these will show you all the most important words you need to know. Okay, here you will have all the important words. And so for the moment still you guys are quite okay because you all are not extensively let's say questioned in the exams, but once you get into or IGCSE, O levels and A levels, these keywords, they really matter. Okay, so in the exam, even if you write the keyword properly, keyword එක විතරක් හරියට ලියුවත්, you get the marks. Okay, so that's how Edexcel is structured. Then we have this most important thing, next most important thing, real world examples. Okay, here this will basically show you any sort of a real world example which will be related to that topic. Okay, and in the other side you will get the learning objectives. So the learning objectives, that will give you something which will explain what is the end goal of learning this. In the sense, after you learn the unit, you should know what this is and what this whole unit was. Okay, so basically it's like අන්තිමට මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා දැනගන්න එක. So once you do it, you just need to make sure that you achieve that object. Then on the other pages, okay, sometimes you get this green color block where it will basically show you some information about further investigation. Okay, so it's like this. Now it's nothing about directly talking about the main topic, but it's something about තව පොඩ්ඩක් හොයලා බලන්න වගේ. So just to find out and see whether there's something more. Okay, and then on the other side we have the success criteria. So the success criteria is basically what has been understood from the lesson. Don't get this too mixed. මෙතන තියෙන්නේ learning objectives, and this is the success criteria. Learning objectives means that at the end of while you're going through the lesson, what your learning objectives are. මොනවද ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ වගේ points ටික මොනවද. Then at the bottom we have the success criteria. That would be that the module is done and make a successful winner, that we have learned these points. Okay, so that's the main point. And you have the assessment pages. So these assessments are kind of important because most of the time your exam papers will be based or created based on these assessment questions. Okay, usually what schools does is they take these questions, change the wordings here and there, put in numbers ටික පොඩ්ඩක් මාරු කරලා කළු සුදු කරලා add some icing on top of it, and you post the same question. So just need to make sure that, so if you guys, so in the class we'll try our best to do this. So we'll go through these assessment pages, or I will give this as homework so that you guys can go through it and finish it off. At the end, as well as you have the analysis here, which is this one, and the end of unit checklist. So analysis is basically an example answer set so that you can assess yourself itself, and the end of unit checklist, which will basically say what sorry which will let you evaluate your points. Okay, so there's a small cheat code on this. So what I suggest is, before you start the module, go and read the end of unit checklist. Before you start it, that would be the easiest. So end of unit checklist, it normally contains all the all the points that you should learn. End of the day. So you can check this, you can get the checklist first, and then when you go back to the beginning, you can find out, okay, this is the point, and this is why we are learning it. Got the point? Got the idea? Hope I didn't. Hope it's clear. So
Yes, sir, it was clear.
nice. Okay, how about Sanidhi? Podda nidhi matai wage. All clear.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I didn't want to give you guys anything to write at this point because we are discussing it. But okay, so we came to the end of the session. So I hope you guys have got a clear idea about the units and the points which you are going to learn. And as I said before, this video will be posted on YouTube, so you can refer it, as well as you'll get access to this through the LMS too. And so if you have any questions, I'm always available on the WhatsApp group. So get your parents to send me a message. I'll be more than glad to help you out, as well as Kemit, let me know if you need any hardware. I will send it to you.
Thank you, sir.
I do have some friends and people who basically does this type of things. So let me know if you need any sensors and stuff. I can send it to you. I'm just helping you out. I don't need money. I'm just giving it to you. So practice.
Thank you, sir. I know, sir. Sir is not doing like that.
I'll of course help you out at that point. Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. I hope any questions. Situmbi, any questions?
No, sir, I understood everything clearly.
Perfect. Okay. So I will send you the document. I'll put it on the chat, but it's a scanned document, so you all can just do that, go through it, and then we'll start from there next week. Okay. Thanks. It's 7:10. Okay. So have a nice weekend too, and catch you guys next week.
Thank you, sir.
See you. Okay.
Thank you,